This is the story of a tiny kitten that changed my life forever. And if you've ever thought about giving animals a second chance, this story is for you. Because sometimes the most fragile-looking creatures are actually the strongest ones. And before we dive into Oreo's incredible journey, if you love heartwarming rescue stories like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. It all started last March. That morning, as I was leaving for work, I heard a strange sound near the garage, a weak, trembling meow. At first, I kept walking like nothing was there, but my conscience wouldn't let me rest. I turned back and looked behind the old pile of wood by the garage. There she was, a tiny black and white kitten. But something was very wrong. Her back legs were completely motionless, and she was trying to drag herself using only her front paws. Her eyes were filled with fear. Her body was shaking, and she was so thin from starvation that I could count her bones. Who knows how many days she'd been there all alone, crying out for help that never came. I immediately picked her up. She was so small she fit in the palm of my hand. I could feel her tiny heartbeat racing against my skin. In that moment, I had only one thought. This cat is going to live. When I took her to the vet, the doctor understood the severity of the situation at first glance. She had paralysis in her back legs, probably from a congenital neurological condition. The doctor looked at me with concern and said, "This cat will require special care. She'll need help for the rest of her life. Are you ready for that kind of commitment?" Was I ready? Without thinking twice, I said yes. I named her Oreo. Her black and white pattern looked just like the cookie. But Oreo was so much more than just a cute name. She was a living example of the will to survive, the spirit to fight when everything seems impossible. The first days were really tough. Oreo couldn't use the bathroom on her own, couldn't move independently. I had to feed her every 3 hours with a tiny bottle, help her go to the bathroom using special techniques the vet taught me. I couldn't sleep at night because I needed to check on her constantly, making sure she was breathing, making sure she was warm enough. My friends thought I was crazy. "Why are you doing this?" they asked. "It's just a cat, and a disabled one at that." But they didn't understand. When I looked into Oreo's eyes, I saw something they couldn't see. I saw determination. I saw hope. I saw a fighter. And you know what I saw? Oreo never gave up. Every single day, she got a little stronger. She learned to push herself with her front paws and reached an incredible speed. She started running around the house, or more accurately, sliding and moving fast like a little seal on land. She acted like she had no disability at all. She'd chase after toys, jump at shadows on the wall, and try to catch my feet when I walked by. But the real breakthrough came about a month in. I was sitting on the couch, feeling exhausted and wondering if I was doing enough for her. And then Oreo did something that made my heart stop. She dragged herself all the way across the living room, climbed up the side of the couch using her front claws, and settled right into my lap. She looked up at me and started purring. In that moment, I knew we were going to be okay. A few weeks later, I got her a special wheeled device. Small wheels were attached for her back legs so she could move more comfortably and put less strain on her front paws. I was nervous about how she'd react. Would she be scared? Would she reject it? You know what happened the first time I put the wheels on her? Oreo started running around the house like crazy. That joy in her eyes, that feeling of freedom, I almost cried. This little cat was showing me that life exists beyond limitations. She zoomed through every room, explored corners she'd never been able to reach before, and even tried to jump up on furniture. She was unstoppable. Days passed, months passed. Oreo was now the queen of my house. She climbed on the couches, scratched the curtains, played with her toys. Yes, sometimes she needed a little help, but she was always happy. Every morning, she'd come to me and wake me up with her purring. It was like she was saying, "Good morning, thank you for saving me." I started sharing her journey on social media, and the response was overwhelming. People from all over the world sent messages of support. Some shared their own stories of special needs pets. Others asked for advice on how to care for disabled animals. Oreo was inspiring people she'd never even met. People often ask me, "Isn't it exhausting to deal with such a difficult cat? Don't you ever regret taking her in?" My answer is always the same. No, never! Because the happiness Oreo gives me goes way beyond everything I do for her. She taught me responsibility, patience, and unconditional love. She showed me that obstacles aren't just physical, they can be mental too. And when you remove the obstacles in your mind, nothing can stop you. She taught me to appreciate the small victories. The first time she successfully used her litter box with minimal help, the first time she jumped onto the bed by herself, the first time she purred so loud the whole room could hear it. Oreo is 1 year old now. She still uses her wheeled device, but she's so much stronger than that tiny kitten I found behind the garage. Even the vet was amazed by her progress. "This cat is a miracle," he said during our last checkup. "I've never seen a disabled cat thrive like this." But I know the miracle isn't Oreo. The miracle was giving her a second chance. The miracle was not walking away when it would have been easier. The miracle was choosing love over convenience. I look around and think, how many more Oreos are out there? How many animals that need special care are being abandoned just because people think it's too hard? How many incredible companions are we missing out on because we're too focused on what's normal? If you encounter an animal like this today, please give them a chance. Yes, it might be difficult. Yes, it might require extra responsibility, but the love that little creature will give you is worth all the challenges. They'll teach you things about strength, resilience, and joy that no book or movie ever could. Oreo is here with me now, sleeping on the couch. Her wheelchair is sitting in the corner, ready for her next adventure. Every time I see her, I smile, because she was my best decision. She turned my house into a home and showed me what unconditional love really means. And who knows? Maybe an Oreo is waiting out there to change your life too. All you have to do is take that first step with your heart. Listen to that small voice inside that says, "This matters," because it does. So what about you? Have you ever helped an animal with a disability? Or would you consider doing it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories.